How should I start with the website?
Um, I think you can start with where you are, um, why you're there, and what happened in the, quick little synopsis.
Oh, so I'm in prison. I was given a 3 to 5 year sentence for possessing my lawfully purchased arm from the state of Rhode Island from a licensed arm dealer at Lost Treasures, Tucker, Rhode Island. I'm charged with having that. I purchased my guns after passing a state and federal background check, and I'm in prison because of that. About 3 to 5 years. My Judge Beacon of the Woburn Superior Court in Massachusetts. The prosecutor, uh, Dan Graneps, was asking for 15 to 20 years in prison, and Judge Deacon gave me 3 to 5. I went to trial with my co-defendant, Lucha L., who was given 16 months in the county jail. Um, but before I was sentenced, uh, Lucha was being charged in a federal court in New York, and someone from the prosecutor's office purchased one of his pieces of literature from the riseofthemoors.org website. I ended up having a conversation with Lucha, and he told me that they did that because they used that as evidence against them in the federal case. So then I went to the Weebly.com, which is where I purchased my domain and my website from, riseofthemoors.org. I used Weebly.com. I was able to see everybody who purchased uh, his piece of literature to see who, out of the people that purchased it, was from New York, and therefore working with the federal prosecutors in New York. Shortly after I did that, they must have been monitoring our phone calls. My website was then permanently deleted after that. I then emailed Weebly.com to question them why, after 6 years straight, because I would pay for the yearly subscription of both the website and the domain name, riseofthemoors.org, I would pay for both one time for the entire year, and it would just renew um, every year. Um, they never gave me an answer as to why my website was permanently deleted. They never gave me any like notice to change anything. So I emailed them asking why, after 6 years of business, did they permanently delete my website without cause? Like they said it violated some terms and conditions, but they didn't say which terms and conditions I violated. Um, and that was the end of that. I was waiting for a response to either fix whatever issue there was with the website, which would give cause to them permanently deleting it, but they never gave me a response by the time I got convicted and found guilty of illegally purchased firearms that I purchased after passing a state and federal background check in the state of Rhode Island, purchased from a licensed firearms dealer whose name is Lost Treasures in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. That's the licensed arm dealer who I purchased my arms from. Uh, Shortly after, I was told by no coincidence that a certain group of Moors ended up purchasing my domain unlawfully. Now, it's interesting that shortly after my website was permanently deleted, that these people allegedly fell upon it. Clearly, they were looking for it, right? So I had handwritten a cease and desist notice for the public and these private parties to stop using the name in all capital letters, Rise of the Moors, and the domain riseofthemoors.org, and the variation of the spelling Rise of the Moors with a capital R, lowercase ise, lowercase of, lowercase the, capital moors. Because by capitalizing the R, you're using it in the name of an organization or as an organization. And by capitalizing it, all letters, all caps, you're doing the same. And as it's explained in detail, I'm the first person to use the phrase Rise of the Moors in all capital letters as a name of an organization. There have been other people who one person in particular who I know of, where she wrote Rise of the Moors, but it was just as a phrase. It wasn't as a name of an organization or a name of a group of people. Therefore, if we follow the common law maxim of first in line and first in time, I, Jamal Talib Abdul-Ghani, am the first person to use the name and or phrase Rise of the Moors as the name of an organization or legal entity, full stop. This has been documented on the Rise of the Moors YouTube channel, as well as third-party individuals, which constitutes third-party evidence, such as various newspapers, such as the Lowell Sun in Lowell, Massachusetts, such as articles in New Hampshire, articles in Massachusetts, articles in Providence, where they have written the name Rise of the Moors as an organization, followed by my name, Jamal Tuli Abdullah. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because of the legal definition of common law copyright and common law trademark, which supersedes any statutory regulations or any statutory trademarking. Can you read that, please? Hello? 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 Hello?
The caller has hung up.
Apologies, Morg. I had to step away a second. Hi, Morg. I'm sorry. I had to step away and I didn't want to interrupt you. We're still on. I'm going to put you on speaker, okay?
Common law copyright, common law trademark.
Common law copyright and common law trade law. Okay. Okay, hold on 1 second. So, common law copyright from Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition says, let me catch my
What
breath.
page is it?
I was running. It is page, I don't think I have the page number here because I don't have the physical book, but I'm looking at a screenshot of the book. But it's in alphabetical order. An intangible, incorporeal right in an author or literary or artistic productions to reproduce and sell them exclusively and arises at the moment of their creation as distinguished from federal or statutory copyrights, which exist for the most part only in published works. Common law copyright is perpetual, while statutory copyright... I'm sorry?
Okay.
While statutory copyright is...
I think perpetual on common law copyright. Go ahead with the statutory.
While statutory copyright is for terms, is for a term of years.
Can you read common law trademark, please?
Yes. 1, appropriated under common law rules regardless of statutes.
So both of them confirmed the fact that since I created it as an organization, the moment I started saying Rise of the Moors, and I'm the founder of Rise of the Moors, and Rise of the Moors is my organization, it is perpetually mine. And if you don't know what the word perpetual means, it means forever. And it says regardless of any statutory filings. So, if any Moors honored the common law, which they claim is the supreme law, then they would honor that. In addition to that, if Moors are claiming these states don't have jurisdiction over us, then why would they trademark or copyright anything with any state? The only time that has happened is after Noble Drew Ali was sent to jail. Moors started claiming, oh, well, we're the real Noble Drew Ali. Oh, we're the real Moor Science Temple of America. Then after he died, Moors were fighting over positions of authority. And dirty Moors tried to bring Emily L to court. And guess what the court said? They don't have jurisdiction over them. So why would a Moor, who this individual has posted information regarding Emily L and dirty Moors bringing him to court, why would a Moor try to trademark Rise of the Moors with a jurisdiction that they claim doesn't belong to them, or doesn't have any authority over them, or doesn't have any jurisdiction over any Moorish affairs? Why would they do that? That just exposes who they are. These same Moors claim that when I got bail in the year 2021, that they gave charity to bail me out. That charity was not charity, it was a loan. They demanded we pay back once the case was resolved. Before the case was resolved, meaning before I went to trial and either won or lost, they were lying, saying that we refused to pay them, when the agreement was after trial, which is when bail becomes available to recoup, then they would get paid. So they were slandering us, saying we refused to pay them, when according to the terms of our agreement, which my wife kept posting, it wasn't time to pay them yet because we didn't have the money. To re-emphasize that, charity that is demanded back is a loan, not charity.
But
it's called being a loan shark.
It has since been
people that need money.
It has since been paid. Once trial was over and Jamal was convicted, after a few days, they released the money and I was able to retrieve it and send it back, even though we were slandered and the website was stolen from us and they're making claims that we had to do.
Hold on, wait. So they also sent a plaque
I don't think we have to go into
commemorating
I don't think we have
Rise
to go
of
into
the
that.
Moors.
I don't think we have to go into any extra.
I think we do, because we have to identify the parties. If they were Rise of the Moors, why would they send me a plaque with the name Rise of the Moors on it?
Well, we'll just say that what is now.
That they're not the Rise of the Moors organization. That's their acknowledgement that they're not the Rise of the Moors organization. So why is it that now I'm in jail, like with Noble Drew Ali, when he went to jail, these Moors are claiming to be Rise of the Moors, just like when Noble Drew Ali went to prison, they started claiming that they're the real Moor Science Temple of America. And then they incorporated it, and they recorded it with the states. And these same Moors are saying that the Moors that did that are dirty, but they did it to me. So what does that tell you about them?
So, if you go to riseofthemoors.org right now, that is not Jamal's website. That's a collection of Moors, which they put their logos and whatnot. So you can see the different collection of Moors who came together and
violated common law copyright and common law trademark, which is supposed to be perpetual and honored by Moors who claim to honor the common law. Sorry, Dan.
That's okay. So I think we touched on most things. So Rise of the Moors is currently not Jamal Talibu-Dulabey's website because it's been stolen, basically. These Moors were claiming to, uh, sorry, I was getting a call. Um, these Moors were claiming that, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm so sorry. That phone call distracted me. That's actually a Moor calling right now. A Moor. Um, you can keep going, and once I remember what I was trying to say.
They are unlawfully using the name Rise of the Moors and the acronym ROTM without my express permission, which makes it illegal and unlawful. So I sent them a notice of this that was that was sent to them via a private message by my wife, who was given express permission by me to do so, and it was also posted publicly on the Rise of the Moors Instagram page to tell them to stop doing what they're doing. And then it continues to say, if they do not stop doing what they're doing, then a fee schedule will be attached to them, charging them $10 a day per unauthorized and unlawful use of the domain Rise of the Moors, as well as any and all profits made whilst using that name, whether it be marketing, promotional items, actual items, any amount of money made while using my name will be owed to me according to that fee schedule.
And in fact,
once that was posted, then they showed a statutory copyright or trademark, which the common law supersedes that. What?
I think that's older. I had just seen it recently, so I think they did the trademark in Indiana back in November or something like that. But I had just recently seen it. So
either way, I've been using the name Rise of the Moors for 6 years.
Absolutely.
Which means it is perpetual, which means before I even wrote the cease and desist, they shouldn't have been able to do that. Especially when they are claiming that these states don't have jurisdiction over Moorish affairs. Then why are you trademarking something that's Moorish?
Yeah. I do remember what I was actually going to say, if you don't mind. So Moors were claiming that the website was abandoned and that we had to simply pay a monthly fee in order to continue getting the website. I apologize. I had stepped out for a minute.
Yeah, I had explained that a federal agent purchased one of Lucha's pieces of literature from my website.
Yeah.
Then shortly after that, once I told him the list of people who purchased his products from my website, it was reported. Something was reported on it. They didn't tell me what. They just said that my website that has been up for 6 years all of a sudden violated terms and conditions and didn't tell me which terms and conditions they violated.
Right.
So I emailed weekly.com, which is where I had my domain name from and my website from, to ask them what did I violate so that way I can change it and restart my website and bring it back up. Because the subscription and the domain was paid once a year for the whole year. So my website was not taken down for lack of payment.
Right.
Because since I've had this website for 6 years, they oftentimes keep the website up past its due date because they know I use the website.
So what I just wanted to mention about that is, the story, the story they're telling people is the other thing. Oh, they just had to pay a monthly fee, which that's literally something they came up with on their own, not knowing the situation with the website, not speaking personally with or being around with Jamal at all. This is just lies that were just concocted from their minds. And I don't want to make this I want to be very direct about what we have to say. I don't want to make it a big back and forth thing. We just have to set the record straight that riseofthemoors.org is no longer your website.
There has been a coup and it's been usurped and has been stolen from me. And anyone that goes to that website and supports it, then they're supporting everything that Moors claim to stand against. And it's just going to expose people for who they are. Good. Moors should know who to trust and who shouldn't, based on their words, works, and deeds, not just their words, their deeds. Also, the same group of people while part of the ISE, the the interim special committee with the specific purposes of establishing a Moorish constitutional convention, they were also lying, saying that there were FBI agents involved in this case. I went to trial, and not one Moor took the stand and testified against another Moor.
So, I think.
So when they were, hold on, 1 second, please. So when they were perpetuating these lies, they were doing it to scatter the organization and scare Moors. So that way we won't have anything. That's who these people are. They're agent provocateurs. They're going to accuse an imaginary person to scare people. Then they're going to accuse real people, real activists as being agents to discredit them. So that way they can do things like this. So that way they can do, what are they called? Front organizations to pretend like they're activists when they're really not. This is what they do. This is documented that this is what these people do.
So the baby's acting up. Well, not acting up. You know, he's fussing. So we just gotta wrap it up. Is there anything else that you want to say before I end the call?
No, that's it.
Okay.
The Moors are they can see the truth, and if they don't, good on them. Anyone that claims anyone that has accusations against someone without evidence, that should tell you everything about that person you need to know.
Okay. Thank you so much, Morris. I just gotta figure out how to end this.
All right, let me put this tablet in the cell.